I do, because you know exactly what you're going to do in class. You come in prepared with the answers to the questions he's going to ask you. Sometimes he goes really linear and you go right through the CPA, 1, 2, 3, 4, and sometimes he'll be all over the map and just asking you questions here and there, so you really have to be prepared, knowing where he's at every single moment. It also creates good study habits because each CPA is due every class, so you have to set time aside to be able to do the CPAs and be able to do your homework, and that creates good study habits for the future as well.
I do. I think they allow you to be prepared for class in a different way. Most instructors would just say read the chapter or something like that. These actually let you find out for yourself what the most important things are and try to teach yourself it to an extent. But then if you don't understand it, when you go to class, you already know exactly what parts of the reading and the material are going to be covered.
Yeah, I do like the CPAs a lot. I feel as though they prep us for the class and exactly how he wants us to prep. It's not like we go in not knowing what to expect. We know exactly what to know and exactly what's coming at us, so we can prep properly.
Yeah, I think that it gets me prepared for the following class. I know exactly what we're going to be discussing. I know what answers I'll have for Lynn Gillette's questions.
Yes, I do, because it's I feel that it's the only class I actually come prepared in, because it's the only class I do CPAs in, and it's I feel like I can really engage my learning. It's quicker because everyone knows what they're doing, and there's less time people stuttering over questions when Lynn asks.
I like discussion-based courses. So it's nicer when everybody in the class is able to discuss the material on the same level because everybody knows what material was expected.
It's more productive because Lynn comes into class and we just go. There's no time wasted between students not knowing where the answers are or not knowing what he's talking about. They all have it right in front of them and they just answer right away.
There's less time wasted if everyone can answer any question at any given time. So there's some shy kids that don't want to answer the questions, but if they had to, they could as well.
Because everyone comes to class prepared for the day, you can go through the material real quickly and then have time to do things that aren't in the course. Things like analysis of current events or having guest speakers. And also for the teacher to expand upon the material. You know, you can get away from the textbook some.
They proactively involve pretty much every student in that class, you know, in what you're learning. So it's very easy to learn the new material.
It makes us think about it intuitively on the fly, and because he asks questions that pertain to the CPAs but aren't exactly on there stated factually.
The way Dr. Gillette sets up his CPAs, it allows me to be ready, and then he's able to push me farther based on the material, and I am able to get more out of the material with him asking questions or just pushing us until we get it at a high level.
I think this class preparation assignments allow you to have a more personal feel with the work because you answer the questions ahead of time and then you can be prepared to ask more questions that you have from answering the ones he gave, and it gives your learning a new feel. It's a way of knowing that if I don't come to class with this done and prepared, I know he's going to ask me anyways and I need to know it. So it encourages you to get more involved in what you're learning, and almost all the students in his classes I've been in, we all do that because we know he's going to ask us.
Again, you just build on it, and the active learning, like we're always getting up, we're always drawing the graphs, it's more interactive. I can actually see what I'm doing or see what another person in the class is doing visually, and that helps a lot. And you know, we get up there, and if we're wrong, they don't tell us you're wrong. They help us through it. They help us see what we're doing wrong. If we are wrong, and if we're right, then you know, good for us, I guess.
They're every day.
I don't think there's a negative about class preparation assignments. A lot of people don't like that they're assigned every class, but like I said before, I like that they are assigned every class because you know that it's going to be due, you know you always have something to be done, and gets you in a study habit.
The biggest negative would be that if you don't do it, it can cause people to feel that you shouldn't come to class if you didn't do the CPA, which ideally you should always do the CPA anyways, but if you don't, I think it's important that people know you can still come to class because he still will explain what you need to know. You just have to play catch up a little bit.
To me, we have to print 2 of them. It's just a waste of paper.
Nothing.
Stick to them. You know, be specific. If you're going to ask a question on the CPA, you know, talk about it in class because, you know, we spend a lot of time doing our homework. We spend a lot of time, you know, wanting to know the right material, and if we're spending a long time on these CPAs and then, you know, we get into the class and it's not really what was on the CPA, not that it's wasted time because we're still taking something out of it, but, you know, it kind of helps to really go over what we went over for ourselves.
I think that they should use more intuitive questions that you can't exactly get from the book, but questions that you actually have to think about and go over and discuss with your peers.
Do it. Simple as that. Do it. Definitely. It's a great thing. It should be recommended in every class at SSE.
It's a very good method, but if you're going to go the CPA route, don't, you know, make the students bring it to class the next day and then ignore it.
I think there's some confusion with other teachers about what a class preparation assignment is versus what a homework assignment is. Because I've had teachers who give a class preparation assignment, but it's not. It's not an assignment that prepares you for the next class. It's an assignment that relates to the class you just had. I think that if more of them used class preparation assignments to do just that, to prepare you for class, that it'd be a big help.
If they're going to use class preparation assignments, to use them in the class. I do have some teachers that use class preparation assignments. You get the reading done, you do the assignment, but when you come into class, you don't talk about them, you don't go over them or anything. So my suggestion to them is use the CPAs as actual class preparation assignments. You come into class prepared to talk about what you've done outside of class.